episode 298 on Monday, the 28th of July 2014. I am your host, Stephen Layton. As always, you are very welcome to In My Mug, and as always, we begin with the news. So let's get on with this news. You may notice this lovely picture beside me. I'm going to show you on the screen now as well as a better image. This is episode 298, which means that we're only 2 away from 300, and we always celebrate the big landmarks with special coffees, but I'm going to let you into a secret. We're going to have 3 very special coffees coming up. 299, 300 and 301 are all incredibly special, very good value. You will only get them by subscribing this week, otherwise you'll have to pay lots and lots of money for them. We are going to blow your socks off with the next 3 in my mug, so subscribe now. 300 is already recorded in the bag, and 301 is going to be recorded at Brew Lab, as I said last week, and no expense has been spared on that one. So talking of Brew Lab, the recording of the In My Mug sold out in seconds of the In My Mug going live. Thank you to you all. I am truly humbled that people want to come and listen to me talk. We are going to have lots of fun. We're going to have 4 very delicious and special coffees, and I'm really looking forward to meeting lots of you. I know lots of you who watch this are going to be there, so those who missed out, I'm sorry. We'll do something else in the future very soon, I am sure. You should go check out Hasblog, link on the screen, hasblog.co.uk. I've started doing stuff again there, and been really enjoying it. I did an audio boom, going to be doing another one in a few days. Done some blog posting. You should go check it out. Flashback Friday is going to become a thing, and I mentioned it last week, but In My Mug going international. We're looking to sell In My Mug into the US, Japan and mainland Europe as a weekly subscription and a weekly payment system, and we've made a little ad for that, so I'm going to show you the ad right now. Has Been Coffee subscription, now available in the US of A with free shipping. Every week you'll receive a different coffee straight to your door. Not just fresh, but exciting! Funky! Floral! Berry! Outrageous! Drink your coffee alongside me, Stephen Layton, on our weekly coffee tasting show. Drink. Watch. Be entertained. Be educated. Be edutained. Share your thoughts. Watch. Drink. 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 Did I mention it's not just fresh? Subscribe now. And that was the very, very cool news. We should move on briskly from that silliness, and we're going to look at Focus On. And this week, the coffee we're going to have is a Peaberry, so it seems only right that we focus on Peaberries. So Peaberry, also known as Curriculi, is a type of coffee bean. Normally, the fruit of the cherry will contain 2 seeds or beans. Coffee beans are actually not beans, they're seeds. It's one of those QI facts. But what happens is that sometimes the pistil inside, there's 2 pistils that fire, but sometimes only one of the seeds is fertilised. And it means that they're not flattened against each other, and they end up being oval and pea-shaped. They are rounded. If you're a subscriber, go look at this week's coffee and you'll understand what I mean. Normally around about 5% of the harvest in standard varietals is Peaberry, but there are some varietals that produce many, many more Peaberries. Some people will have you believe that the flavour is more intense and they are better beans, better coffee, but this is completely and utterly untrue. There are some lovely Peaberries, as well as there are some lovely normal beans, and there's some absolutely horrible Peaberries and some lovely and amazing ones all at the same time. And Kenya Peaberries are some of the most famous ones, and that's what we're going to look at this week, and that was Focus On. interesting focus on, I hope. So this week's coffee is Kenya Kanjathi washed. It's an SL28 and as we've already said, a Peaberry. I keep looking at this and thinking, how cool is this? This was done by our friends at RKH who help us with some of our website stuff. I love this. I'm really, really touched by it. It's cool when people recognise the big landmarks. So, February 2013, I took my first ever trip to Kenya, and it wasn't really to meet producers, but it was really to get an understanding of how the market works and how we can improve the quality of coffees that we're buying from Kenya. Last year, I think we saw this big ramp up in the quality of coffees we've had from there, and this year I think we've took another step forward. Much of the Kenyan coffee comes from cooperatives or from washing stations, which means it's very tough to build personal long-term relationships there. But there is a very transparent auction system, which means that you can find out lots of traceability about the coffees from the mills and things like that. And this is one that we've been able to find lots of information on. So the Kanjathi mill is based on the eastern slopes of the Aberdare mountain range and is southwest of Mount Kenya, 33 kilometres to the west of Murang'a. And sits in an area that is around about 1,600 to 1,800 metres above sea level. The mill is owned by the Karangi Cooperative that has around about 827 members who all have very, very small plantations, the average being 150 to 200 trees, so like 0.25 acres to half an acre. The washing station has steadily been increasing production as it's got better at what it's doing. Back in 2011, they produced around about 160,000 kilograms of cherry. Then the following year, they produced around about 200,000 kilograms of cherry. And this year, they produced around about 240,000 kilograms of cherry. So, sorry, I've got something in my eye. It's great to see the station and the cooperative doing a better job. This is a fully washed, submerged underwater over a 12-hour period, sun-dried, dried on raised beds, instead of using tables. Fairly standard practice for Kenya, which I think is a lot of the reason why Kenya has this very distinct flavour profile. So they go through the details. The cooperative is the Karangi, the mill is Kanjathi, closest town is Murang'a. It's owned by the Ramika Farmers Cooperative Society. It's from the central province of Kenya, from the Peaberry district. Has a altitude of 1,600 to 1,800 metres approximately. Most farmers have 200 to 300 trees each. It is hand-picked. It is an SL28 varietal, and it's a fully washed coffee. So we should go and look at the wonderful, interesting Roland's Daft Fact of the Week. Who was that imposter last week? That wasn't me. Anyway, we're not going to do a coffee fact this week, but we're going to do a Kenya fact. Did you know that the majority of electricity from Kenya is produced by hydroelectricity? Those green little bees. Green little bees? What the heck is he talking about? Roland's gone a bit weird on us. Anyway, it is time for the map bit. So here we are with the map bit. I'm always a bit worried about Africa when it comes to map bits because it's so difficult to get exact coordinates, and Google Earth doesn't seem to like it as much as it likes Seifert in Stafford. So anyway, we are going down to the wonderful continent of Africa, and it is a huge, huge continent. I mean, it is so big. I mean, so this is like the world's second largest continent, covering over 30 million square kilometres. And this is just showing you kind of the countries that you can fit into Africa. You know, you've got United States, you've got China, you've got Italy, you've got France, and you've still got space for lots of other places as well. It is just an obscenely huge and large country, and I just wanted to share that with you because I saw it on Facebook the other day and thought it was fun. So here's Kenya, which is also in itself not a small country. In fact, it's a rather large, huge country. And Kenya has some amazing coffees and some amazing mountains. So here we've got Mount Kenya. And you can see on the little infographic there, lowest point is the Indian Ocean, but the highest point is like 5,000 metres above sea level. It's just mind-blowing. And then you've got the Aberdare mountain range there, which is another huge mountain range. And then stuck in the middle, you've got this week's coffee. So let's get down to that. But rather unprettily, we're going to get down to Kanjathi, and that's my fault for actually really recording that part bad. But there's Kanjathi. It is the exact coordinates of the washing station, but if you get down any lower, it shows no detail at all. So that was the wonderful map bit. Mixed feelings on that map bit, but I love that Africa bit. Kind of seeing the size of Africa and getting an understanding of what a big continent it really, really is. So I'm going to whack you on pause. Hopefully by this point, Techno Gary has made my coffees for me, as he's enjoying making in my mug coffees and I'm enjoying him make them. Gives Chris and Dale and Roland a little bit of a break from it, and Gary, the normal Ecky Thump Gary too. So I'm going to whack you on pause, be back with you in just a moment. Right, let's get diving in. Now, I'll just drink the espresso first. Now, I think there are other people who agree with me, I'm sure of it. But for me, Kenyas do not make good espressos. And in particular, Peaberry Kenyans make even worse espressos. It's super tart, it's super bright. I am not a fan of super tart, super bright espresso. Now, Kenyas in blends, I think, can really work. They can really add something. They can add some zip and add some zing. And when you add it with something that's sweeter, it can be better. But this is not a bad espresso. It's actually the best that Gary's pulled so far. And you do get lots of what you're going to get in here. But for me, it's just too intense. It almost makes me, gives me brain freeze. It really does. Into milk. Now the milk smooths out those edges a little bit and kind of does what you do when you blend it. And it's actually not a bad espresso, a bad cappuccino, if I'm honest. That's okay. This coffee is creamy anyway, so you get some of the blackcurrant come through, and you get the creaminess kind of volume turned up. It's got a little bit of florality to it. It's not too much. It's kind of just a shoulder, but it really does work. But let's get into the bit where I love Kenyas and I love Kenya Peaberries. As brewed coffee, I think they are absolutely amazing. They are delicious and show all of the good things that Kenyas can give you. So now, that was made about 10 minutes ago, so it's really cooled down. In fact, the coffee is really cool. And the blackcurrant is like boom, 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 boom. It is blackcurrant jam. It is bitey, but like lovely at the same time, sweet. But there is a creamy edge to it. There really is a creamy, big mouthfeel to this coffee. And I came up with the best descriptor I've come up with in a long, long time for me, is that it's like one of those Muller corner yogurt things with a blackcurrant jam in the corner, because you get the creaminess, you get the mouthfeel, but you get that tart bitiness through there. It really does work as a brewed coffee, like one of the best brewed coffees I've had so far this year. It's that good. It really is. This coffee stands a chance of being in my top 10 come the end of the year. Really does. It's a big, big coffee. We are going into the season of big, big coffees. We are going to spoil you over the next 4 episodes with some amazing coffees. It's definitely the start of them. Now, this is £7 a bag on the site. You're paying, as little as £5 if you subscribe ahead. Then you've got to put your postage on top of that as well. So you'd be looking, if you wanted to order a bag of this off the site, it's going to cost you £8.50 and you're paying a £5. You're paying £6.50 if you're on a weekly subscription. It's a bargain of the century. But the next 3 ones are going to be even bigger. You will definitely want to be part of In My Mug over the next few weeks. Tell your friends, tell your auntie, tell your uncle. We're going to be doing some biggies. Next week's, I don't know where I'm going to record, but 299 is a big one. I never thought I'd get this far into In My Mug. And if you guys didn't keep watching, I would definitely stop. So please don't stop watching, because I like it and it's good, and I feel like we have our time together here. And I'm going to shut up rambling, because that's what I'm doing. Thank you very much for joining me as always, and do remember, life is too short for bad coffee. It really is.